Guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Runa, and today is Foundation Friday. Happy Foundation Friday. So if you're new to my channel, you obviously don't know what Foundation Friday is. Foundation Friday is a very basic. I test out a new foundation every Friday. Either I'm testing out a new foundation, I'm doing a foundation routine that I just learned, or I'm doing a dupe battles between foundation. It's a Foundation Friday, foundation-y type of day. I don't even know if foundation-y is a word, but it's a day where we just care about complexion. Why not, right? Last Friday, we tested out the Juer foundation. Go ahead and check out the link down below. Then you can watch what we were up to last Friday. And this Friday, you guys, it's gonna be a little bit of a new thing. I went to Sephora and I got me some foundation samples. If you're new to my channel, you know that I am really trying to cut out like buying a full bottle of foundation, bringing it home if I like it or if I don't like it, and then I'm returning it. I feel like it really wastes product and it gets to me, you know what I mean? So I was like, let me stop being lazy, let me get up, let me go to Sephora and let me get a bunch of testers and let me test out these foundations for you guys. Why not? It's kind of the same thing. You just don't get to explore the bottle and all that stuff, but I feel like at the end of the day, what comes out of the bottle is more important. What's inside the bottle is more important than what's outside of the bottle. I was trying to make a stupid quote right there. So I got a bunch of samples. I got like 5 samples in here. So Foundation Fridays is about to be lit from here on forward. So if you're enjoying foundation reviews, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Comment down below if you have any opinions. It's a community. If you want me to try out a foundation, if there's a foundation that you really, really love, what's your holy grail foundation, just comment that down below. The different shades that these are. Like, look at the different shades that they create. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Crazy, right? I'm going to be trying out the Vanish Hourglass foundation that just came out. They have it in a stick form. If you guys see right here, it shows my Vanish right there. The first thing that I want to do is find my shade, so I'm just going to find my shade. I always like to use MAC 42 brush. You guys, I have a little screen up here so you guys can follow me along while I'm on my cell phone. I like to always go ahead and pick MAC as my, you know, base color, and I use the MAC Studio Fix and NC 42 is right there. And then it says we found your exact match. Hourglass Vanish will be the shade Sand, and this is the shade Sand, you guys. I just wanted to show you guys that Sephora actually does a really cool, I love that Sephora has that, because I'm like someone that likes to online shop a lot for makeup. So the fact that they give you like a reference and they just make it easy. I'm not like on Google like trying to figure it out, see if someone's tried it, blah, blah, blah. So I really, really like that they do that. So it's the Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. It's brand new. They used to also have they still have a liquid stick, a stick foundation. My exact match is Sand. And it's a light medium golden undertone, which is really interesting. I usually resonate myself to be more of a medium dark. So describing me as light medium is very interesting. I feel like their color range is really, really good. I've always thought Hourglass is really good at catering to all types of skin tones, and they're not like super perfect, but they're pretty good at it. I've always been able to, they're actually one of the first foundations I was actually able to find my shades in. It's a highly concentrated liquid foundation. Okay, the highly concentrated part is actually really scaring me, because I'm like, when they say highly concentrated, does that mean that I am going to have cracked, cakey makeup? That's a little scary. It's designed to deliver instant full coverage with just half a pump. Half a pump. No primer needed. Okay, you guys, but I already have primer. Fudge. Okay, Unicorn Essence is more of a skincare for me. It's not really a primer, but I'm still going to use a primer. The coverage is full. The finish is natural. The formulation is liquid, and it's for normal to combination to oily skin type. So it's for all skin types. You're supposed to use minimal product for full coverage. It applies like second skin. It creates a smooth and flawless complexion. Light reflecting microspheres blur and create a soft focus finish. The non-comedogenic formula is waterproof, transfer-proof, and sweat-proof. So waterproof, transfer-proof, and sweat-proof. I don't know if I'm going to be able to test all that today, but I mean, I will most definitely freaking try. And then based on a 1-week consumer study of 30 women, foundation had coverage of a concealer, felt the foundation made their skin look smoother and effectively covers skin imperfections. So they give like a clinical results, you know, just showing like they test it out. How to use, they give you very different types of ways to use it. It's a very detailed way to use their foundation, which is like really kind of cool, but we're going to do it how we do it. Because I mean, I'm not sure a lot of people, because I'm pretty sure maybe not a lot of people like test out all that details. Like it's like, they're like, it's a pretty foundation, let me try it out, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do one side with the Beauty Blender, and then we're going to do the other side with my Kabuki brush. So I'm going to go in with my Beauty Blender first, and they said you only need very little. So this consistency is not, it's like very creamy. So I'm just going to give myself, so this better be an exact match, because light medium had me kind of like, you know, alarmed. Okay, so right away with the Beauty Blender, oh, this feels nice. Like, looks really nice. It's blending out nice. It's instantly, basically just, you know, covering up all my imperfections. Like, that's pretty good for that little amount. I literally put very little amount onto this Beauty Blender. And for the little bit of an amount, that's not bad. Like, look at that. Wow, and it's smooth coverage. It's not matty or too cakey or anything like that. I'm not feeling it tight at all. I think it looks really, really good, especially with the Beauty Blender, but I'm very alarmed because usually Beauty Blenders dilute a foundation. I'm nervous because I'm about to use my IT Cosmetics brush. This is my foundation brush. And I'm just gonna take a very little, like look at how little I take. And you know, I'm a little alarmed because usually foundations are super thick with the brush, and you know, Beauty Blender usually dilutes it, but oh, it's starting to dry a little matty, a little cakey. Okay, so the whole one pump thing, maybe it'll be enough foundation for some of you guys, but I feel like I needed to put a little bit more than one pump with the brush, which is like odd. Yes, I'm not liking the brush application with this one. It's just not popping. But it's feeling super heavy on this side, and I'm not liking it. I'm getting real cakey right here. Okay, so with a brush, it's so cakey. Like, I wouldn't use this with a brush ever. Like, it's just so cakey. It does feel really heavy on the brush too. With the Beauty Blender, it felt much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use the Beauty Blender, and now I'm gonna test if it's a really good buildable foundation, what it does when you build the foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just build like the foundation in certain spots. So when you build the foundation, it's not at, see, like it lives like little spots like that. Oh, I don't know, it's a little bit harder to blend when you're building the foundation. Yeah, it's definitely harder to blend. It's not a seamless blend when it's building. Well, obviously you're not going to build this foundation because it's like a full coverage, but still, like, you still want to be able to have the option, you know? And I was just struggling with blending all in all on this side, so I mean, it is what it is. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, so I did my finished look. So the Hourglass foundation, I'm gonna be very real with you guys. It did feel a little heavy, but right now it looks really, really nice. It dried, it looks nice. I actually really like it. What I love about this foundation the most right now is how good product blends on top of it. Like contour, it blended like a dream. My blush, it blended like a dream. Highlighters on fleek. Everything just was like blending so beautifully on this foundation. So you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wear this foundation for the rest of the day, and then I'm gonna give you guys like the whole, you know, everything, how it looks on flash photography, how does it look in daylight. I'm gonna give you the whole details, and then in the end I'll tell you like if it really made the cut or not. But anyways, see you in a bit.
So this is the foundation in the sun. Color match is really good. At first I was like really concerned. I was like, I don't think this is gonna match me, but the Sephora matching device was super, shade finder was super accurate, and this looks pretty fleeky. I mean, what do you guys think? Oh, good. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a little flash photograph right there if it has flashback. I have a feeling it's gonna have flashback, so I hope it doesn't. Okay, so personally, I feel like there is a bit of flashback, and it's because this has like some micro beads in it, and so I do see a little bit of flashback. I don't know if it's the flashback or it could be my setting powder, but I already thought when I was trying on this foundation that it had a little bit of flashback, because even when I was trying it on, I felt like underneath all my lights it was already looking way too light than it originally was like in the container. So it does have a bit of flashback, so be aware of that. Maybe go up a shade, or I don't know, how do you cure flashback? We gotta Google that, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wear this foundation for the rest of the day and just like keep testing it out. Hey guys, it's been officially 8 hours since I've had this foundation on. It's time for me to get to bed and take it off, so I just wanted to talk to you guys about how I feel about this foundation. I've had it on for about 8 hours, and I had like a lot of high hopes for this foundation. Unfortunately, it's not going too well. So the first thing is, this foundation is definitely not for anyone with dry skin. If you have freaking dry skin, stay away from this foundation, because it will definitely emphasize some of the areas on your face that are dry. Surprisingly, it didn't like emphasize any of my texture areas too bad. I get a lot of texture here. A lot of texture obviously is on my nose, and then I have like these little fine line type of thing going on right there. So it did like seep in right here. The number one thing that's irritating me the most about this foundation is it feels really heavy, and it feels like someone put mini vacuums all over my face and they're tugging in all these different areas, because it is so freaking tight. Like, it's so drying, it's so tight. I can't even imagine that they told people not to wear a primer with this. Like, let me tell you something, if you try this foundation, you better wear a primer with it. At least wear a hydrating primer right there, because if you don't, you're gonna hate it, because it's just way too freaking dry. Preferably you want to wear like a hydrating primer, because if you don't wear a hydrating primer, I just see it being really cakey on people that don't wear a primer. Luckily, I wore a primer, a hydrating primer, and still, you guys, it was so freaking dry. Although that online, it doesn't claim that it's a super matte foundation, it is really matte. I mean, it's super matte, and they say like it's more airbrushy, flawless complexion. It definitely gives you a flawless complexion. The coverage is beautiful. I'm not gonna knock on the coverage. The blendability is beautiful. When you put something on top of it, it blends really nice. The staying power is great. Like, I don't see a lot of oil seeping through like I would usually with any other foundation. I did find that I did have a lot of hard time blending this foundation out, because it dries really fast. So when you went to go do a buildable, when you went to go do the second layer, when I went to go do the second layer, I had a hard time like blending out, as you guys saw in the clip. It does oxidize, which was great for me, because I was really wondering how the heck I was a light medium. At first I thought that this foundation was like way too light for me, but then eventually oxidized, and you can see it's like my exact match once it oxidizes, which is kind of odd, because like, I mean, it just really shouldn't be that much work, right? It does oxidize. It's definitely not an orange oxidation. Like, sometimes some foundations will oxidize and it'll be like an orange and you'll look like a Oompa Loompa. It's nothing like that. I didn't look like a Oompa Loompa at all. I mean, do I look like Oompa? I mean, the last foundation, that was critical. Unfortunately, this foundation definitely felt cakey. It felt cakey. In my opinion, it looks cakey. Like, this looks really cakey. I feel like it aged my skin a lot more than, you know, other foundations do. So you guys, now let's go on to how many stars I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I know, Hourglass, I still love you. I think you guys have phenomenal products, and you guys have some products that I am like huge fans of, but unfortunately this foundation gets a 3. And the reason why it gets a 3 is because it's too expensive. It's $56, and you have to do way too much work to make this foundation work on you. For $56, there's way better quality foundations out on the market, and you can get those for like $40. There's even $25 foundations that perform better than this foundation did. So that's like my big reason why it's like you're charging so much and the return isn't enough. I feel like they like overspoke it, and they just kind of like hyped it up, like no primer needed, and all this like markety and gimmicky stuff that they were saying. So I was very turned off by that, because none of it applied. And yeah, if I had to stick with the foundation for Hourglass, I would stick with the stick foundation that they have. They have the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. That is one of my favorites. It's one of my top 10s. Like, it is an amazing foundation stick, and that's what you guys should stick with. And that's how we're gonna flow up in here. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe down below. If you've tried this Vanish foundation, do comment down below and let me know. I'll see you guys in my next Foundation Friday. Bye.